Matt Gajtka, Larry Snyder here with City of Champions from a quiet Consol Energy Center after day one of the second annual Three Rivers Classic. We just had two great hockey games played here in front of several thousand college hockey fans. And Larry, what just happened in front of us, a 3-2 win for Penn State over Robert Morris to advance to the championship game. Penn State gets a nice bounce. Eric Scheid scores off an assist from Taylor Holstrom in the final minutes. But the real story here, Penn State getting 62 shots on net, and one of their last ones does get by. Goaltender Terry Schaefer.
Well, Terry Schaefer certainly was the story for Robert Morris. 59 saves in the game. His previous high had been 35 saves against Mercyhurst back on December the 14th, and certainly Terry Schaefer getting it done between the pipes. Derek Schooley said in his post-game press conference he gave Terry Schaefer an A+ for his goaltending performance tonight here at the Three Rivers Classic at Consol Energy Center.
Set a program record by one, beating Eric Levine's old record, and of course it was Eric who led Morris Colonials to the Three Rivers Classic Championship last year with a couple of shutout wins. No shutout here for Schaefer, but certainly quite good. But on the Penn State side, Tommy Olczyk tying it up with a power play goal, Penn State's second power play goal of the game, and that came early in the third period, made it a 2-2 tie. Robert Morris actually had a lead going into the third period on a goal by David Friedman off a broken play, but Penn State battles back. They get a nice bounce after Robert Morris did to take a lead. Didn't feel like a deserved lead for the Colonials, but as we saw last year, they're able to play, I guess for lack of a better term, this rope-a-dope system. They're able to absorb some pressure, and not to this extent, not 62 shots, but we saw this last year against Miami and against Ohio State when they went on to the championship. So it didn't seem like Derek Schooley was too pleased with the team's effort, though, tonight in general.
Well, Eric Levine last year was the one who was the goaltender that strapped the rest of the Colonials to his back. He got somewhere in the neighborhood, I think it was 47 saves against Penn State last year in the opening game on Friday night at 7:30, and then he came back and put up 51 saves against Miami of Ohio to get that 1-0 shutout victory to bring home the Confluence Cup for the first time to the Robert Morris Colonials. So again, Terry Schaefer for the first period following in those footsteps, and it just wasn't meant to be on Friday night for RMU this year.
So RMU will face Bowling Green in the consolation game. That is Saturday at 4:30 here at Consol Energy Center to kick off the second day's doubleheader action. Meanwhile, Penn State advances to play number 7 Boston College. And before we get to the action from the first game today, as BC topped Bowling Green 5-0, McKees Rocks native goaltender Matt Scoff. We talked to him after the game. He said he was just trying to stay positive that his team was going to pull it out. He makes 26 saves, gets the win, and Penn State plays its first championship game in their history in this event. But moving backwards in time to Boston College's win, just an impressive performance all around from the Eagles, nationally ranked. We thought they might impose their will upon Bowling Green. They scored 3 goals in the opening 6.5 minutes. They got it going. Boston College was ready to go. Bowling Green was not. And a nice story, a Pittsburgh kid by the name of Travis Jake, the defenseman, playing his first game of the season, and boy, did he come through.
Yes, he did. We were quite surprised he had not played all season, but Boston College down 3 players, I believe it is, at the World Junior Championships, and so Jake getting a chance to play tonight for the first time, and he made the most of it. Off an assist from Johnny Gaudreau, one of the Hobey Baker finalists from last season. But have to be happy also for Brian Billett. He got his first career shutout, and what a time to get one. And it was also the 4th shutout in Three Rivers Classic history. Last year, 3 of the 4 games were shutouts, and we added a 4th one here with the opening game on Friday night as BC shut out Bowling Green by that final score once again of 5-0.
So Bowling Green unable to really stay at Boston College's level. Their head coach, Chris Bergeron, said as much after the game. But certainly you don't put too much of that on the goaltender. He really did not get too much help, as it was Tommy Burke in net for the Falcons. But as I mentioned, they'll face Robert Morris with a chance to at least get on the board with a victory here to the Bowling Green program. Certainly on the rise under Bergeron in his 4 years. But for Boston College, and head coach Jerry York, winningest coach in NCAA Division I history on the men's side of things. You mentioned Johnny Gaudreau, the Hobey Baker runner-up last year. 3 points in the first period, goal to assist. Should have had another goal late, if not for a great save by Burke. But great performance from him. We talked about, of course, Travis Jake. That whole line of Goudreau, Kevin Hayes, Bill Arnold combined for 9 points in the first period. So it was certainly a shooting gallery for Boston College early, much like we saw in the Penn State Robert Morris game. One team controlled the play, and another team was really sitting back on its heels.
But I think Matt Scoff's going to have a different viewpoint for tomorrow's game and the championship game, because I think he's going to be the one seeing all the shots coming at him from Boston College, because they are the leader in Hockey East with the most goals scored. I think they're probably among the top 10 in the nation, and Boston College just getting it done offensively. If there's a weak link to the Boston College game, it's actually their power play. Their power play is actually very poor, but I guess when you're scoring all the regular time goals, you don't need much from your power play when you've already put 67 plus up in the first half of the season.
And meanwhile, Penn State has a pretty good power play. They connected twice tonight. That helped them get the win against Robert Morris. Larry and I will be back at Consol Energy Center, home of the Pittsburgh Penguins normally, but also of the second annual Three Rivers College Hockey Classic. We'll be back tomorrow to recap and discuss the events as we have the Confluence Cup up for grabs, 7:30 championship game, number 7 Boston College, and of course the Penn State Nittany Lions trying to pull off back-to-back wins to really get their second half of the season started as they get rolling into Big Ten play. Keep it tuned right here on cityofchampionsports.com for more Three Rivers Classic coverage.